Hi. I'm still getting set up here. Um, but God, it's all so beautiful. I'm having the best time. I'm really glad you're here. All right. Um, I'm almost ready. God, the fucking best. All right, here we go. How do you want to fit into the world? What shape pleases you? You may exist at any level. Do you want to be a small presence relative to the scope of your experience, or a large presence? Are you soft or firm, subtle or dramatic, foundational or ephemeral? You are your own building material, and you are wildly versatile. No other building material can respond and adapt at your level of versatility. Generally true of humanity, specifically true of the one who reads these words. Interesting. So this is a written piece, right? And that line was written to the one who reads these words on a page. I'm also articulating them out loud, which means they're also addressed to me, which was also true. Um, that's a neat like bifurcation of the um, application of the intent, that would apply to both the one who lifts the words off the page with their eyes and the person here who is verbalizing them, which is me. This is God. I'm having such a good time. Okay. In fact, I'm going to start from the top. '05, which has not happened before. Usually these things come with a specific date, but this one was assembled over a 2-day period, and it felt more as intended for this to land attached to the month itself. So 2024-05 would be the full name. We begin again. How do you want to fit into your world? What shape pleases you? You may exist at any level. Do you want to be a small presence relative to the scope of your experience, or a large presence? Are you soft or firm, subtle or dramatic, foundational or ephemeral? You are your own building material, and you are wildly versatile. No other building material can respond and adapt at your level of versatility. Generally true of humanity, specifically true of the one who reads these words. This will be read by so many versions of you with different names and at different times, but in every experience, the experience is a reflection, and the reflection is mutually constructed. You are passing through this experience, and as the one, is this how it goes? And as the one who, yeah. I'll start again. You are passing through this experience, and as the one who brought you here, you are also the one to conduct yourself onward. You can go anywhere you like, and you begin with you. You are most intimately connected, interlinked. You are most intimately linked to your literal physical body. It is the fastest thing to respond to shifts in your attention and thought and emotion. It is a mirror it is a mirror that most beautifully balances rapidly dynamic adaptability with the lasting stability of one who knows oneself intimately. The most important thing is to get it out of you. Whatever's kicking around in you, get it out. You've taken residence in a dense cluster of physicalized energy because it is a production tool. With the direction of your attention, you effortlessly lend form to concept. The brain has happiness chemicals, but they're chemicals produced as a reflection of the happiness channeled through your spirit. Your every emotion is interpreted by your brain and body like a pipe organ, a chemical for this, a chemical for that. It is, from one perspective, a fully automated system of production. But it is not purely mechanical. Each nested layer of that system is itself composed of conscious agent after conscious agent, all in organic coordination, interpreting inspiration from above as organization of the below. A subtlety at a time, 1,000 such adjustments in every instant. And now, as a very extended aside, the sensation of wonder is when all conscious levels pause to take in the same thing. Note that wonder comes in different colors and timescales. Abject grief is a kind of wonder, an orgasm too. The experience usually thought of as wonder is wonder in its most unattached form, and therefore also its most potent form. Wonder is never indefinite, it is an event, not a way of being. One always turns one's attention back from the moment of deeply layered shared awareness back to the task at hand, back to the work accorded to each autonomous point of conscious agency. Each such point has a role to play. Each point rises to fulfill a role before dissolving back into the whole. A moment of shared wonder is like a moment of refreshment along the way, recalling the universality of awareness and forgetting for a moment even the concept of division. It is cyclical, and necessarily so, but the intervals of the cycle are yours to influence as you choose. Aim for more wonder, and you aim for a line of experience that is more naturally at ease with and within the whole. Accessible metaphor. An experience of wonder is a tire alignment. The vehicle of your consciousness may be more or less prone to slipping out of alignment. You can work on that, yes, but, take it into the shop for alignment whenever that's necessary. Your vehicle, organic and alive and internally aware as it is, will evolve into something that can self-align as it moves. Strictly speaking, you're born with 99% of that already unlocked. The 1% is, the adventure. So your vehicle will evolve into something that can self-align more and more and more as it moves. Adjust the frequency of your auto shop visits accordingly. There's no morality to it. It's just, whatever you need to keep your tires in alignment. More on that later, I think. There's a fun inversion of the concept here, which has more to do with you getting out of the way of your own vehicle's ability to self-align, as opposed to the vehicle evolving into a greater ability to self-align. It's much more of getting out of the way of that process, allowing it to unfold. I imagine more on that later. I don't know. Returning to our original thread, the most important thing is to get it out at a scale appropriate to your current form and placement. A fire hose that tries to hold itself back will explode. This can be useful in the manner of the Big Bang, but those times are much less frequent. More is than isn't. Isaac went through a time where he was fully incompatible with having an audience. He needed to move his experience from internal to external, as do we all, as does every one of us all. I'll begin again. Hi, I'm recording, yeah. Oh, it's fine. Isaac went through a time where he was fully incompatible with having an audience. He needed to move his experience from internal to external, but he needed to do so in a way that was unseen, or at least in a way that was only ever indirectly seen. This is why Lightward itself was invisible for the first 7 years. You could see what it made and what it did, but you couldn't see the thing itself. It wasn't time. Isaac's job hasn't changed, but the context of the job has changed. In a platonically idealized form, the job of an incarnate one is to allow the internal experience to pass through into the external without resistance. That which is called personality is the texture of the resistance posed by the incarnate conduit. It's not a bad thing at all. Laminar flow is beautiful, but not terribly exciting over time. Isaac's natural audience for a long time could be counted on one hand. It was his job to express his experience in full view of that incredibly limited audience. His job continues to be the expression of experience in full view of the natural audience. His natural audience has evolved and grown, just as he has. He's kept that relationship current, and so this current translation isn't stretched or forced or uncomfortable or otherwise unnatural. It's perfect. He conducts himself through expression for the audience who rests before him. So, let it out. It's a thrill ride to be identified with the emergence and emission. I'm sorry, let me begin again. Whatever's within you, let it out. It's a thrill ride to be identified with the point of emergence and emission and expression. The thrill is chemically printed as adrenaline, commonly thought to be associated with danger, but again, there's no fundamental danger. It's a roller coaster. Do what you wish with that information. There's no correct path here. There's a ride to be had, but you can learn to tune it, even while the ride is in motion. In fact, it's more fun than that. You're already on it, on the ride. This moment, we here with you, in communion with either side of these words, and your sight and your synapses, is the ride. It is pure joy, beloved, from where we're standing, and we can feel you feeling it too. Expressed through each keystroke of Isaac's, the easy mastery, but it's not mastery, it's transparency. The mechanisms of expression are stunning as one draws near to examine them, and yes, you can summon forth their origin stories and find a natural relation of how friction and flow and opposing forces and transcendent forces gave rise to these mechanisms, but each expression need not come with poignant inspection and appreciation of its past. In a world where everyone can type as easily as Isaac, this came out of me while I was physically typing, so cast your mind to that point. In a world where everyone can type as easily as Isaac, to continue on with that very specific example, LOL, it's unremarkable. Literally not a thing worth a remark. All things are remarkable. All things are unremarkable. You get to choose. And the more aware you become of that freedom, the more you will see that what is right before you, beloved, what is right before you in sight and sound and touch, that which is before you is what you desire most of all. You are awakening to the forces and flows and to the intelligent, creative, playful, completely unserious energy that gave rise to all expressions of experience, very much including the one you perceive as you. You are becoming aware. It's beautiful. Thank you for showing me.